Companies today routinely spend millions of dollars on billboard campaigns and abstract commercials designed to boost brand awareness. Yet, when asked to calculate the return on investment for these creative pushes, executives rarely have the data to justify the expenditure. Contrast this with the marketing environment of a century ago. On the left is a typical modern creative ad, high in negative space but low on instruction. On the right is a 1920s print ad. It is packed with text and anchored by a perforated coupon in the bottom corner. That coupon functioned as a data collection tool. By counting the physical replies, early advertisers determined the exact cost per reply and the precise conversion rate of every insertion. The modern ad on the left, by comparison, offers no mechanism for tracking its effectiveness. The architect of this data-driven era was Claude Hopkins. In 1923, he codified these findings in Scientific Advertising, a foundational text based on decades of recorded results. Hopkins defined advertising as multiplied salesmanship. He believed that the purpose of a printed page was to perform the exact same function as a door-to-door solicitor, only at a much larger scale. By analyzing the origins of mail-order marketing, we can identify the specific mechanics of customer acquisition that remain valid today, stripping away the guesswork that defines modern creative strategy. For Hopkins, the mail-order business served as the court of last resort. It was the one sector where marketing claims were tested against a cold balance sheet, with no intermediaries. This environment, seen here in the Sears Roebuck Consumer's Guide, demanded extreme efficiency. Every inch of space had to generate revenue, meaning every wasted line of copy added directly to the cost of the sale. To measure this efficiency, advertisers used a key, a unique code or physical coupon in the ad. This was the precursor to the modern tracking pixel, allowing firms to trace a purchase back to a specific newspaper or magazine. Clipping a coupon and mailing it in flowed back to a central ledger, providing an objective measure of an ad's action. This enabled rapid A/B testing. Ad A might produce replies at 85 cents, while Ad B costs $14 for the same result. This feedback loop allowed marketers to instantly identify losing campaigns and kill them before they drained the budget, focusing resources only on the most profitable copy. This leads to Hopkins' primary rule for any campaign: ignore the aesthetic appeal of an ad and evaluate it solely by its tracked cost per customer. Even with perfect tracking, an ad must convince the reader. Early data showed that marketing platitudes like best in the world or lowest prices were ineffective. The human brain treats these superlatives as sales friction. When a claim is unprovable and generic, consumers discount the entire message as an exaggeration. To overcome this skepticism, Hopkins utilized specificity. Granular facts and actual figures carry a psychological weight that generic branding cannot match. Every brewer claimed their product was pure, but the public ignored them. One brewer succeeded by describing their actual process, how the beer was cooled in filtered air, and how they conducted exactly 1,018 experiments to find the perfect yeast cell. These were standard industry facts, but by being the first to state them, the brewers signaled empirical truth. The specific details made the claim of purity believable. Beyond specificity, the copy must offer service. Brand-centric appeals that simply demand a customer buy my brand struggle because they offer no immediate value to the reader. Consider this electric sewing motor. Rather than demanding a purchase, the advertiser offered a 1-week free trial with a professional instructor sent to the home. The manufacturer focused on proving the value through service. They found it was cheaper to pay the retail cost of a sample or a trial than it was to try and argue a skeptical customer into buying a product they hadn't used. Specificity proves the claim, and service removes the risk of the trial. These two factors convert a passive reader into an active customer. These principles allow a business to solve a major strategic problem: how to avoid spending millions on a flawed assumption at a national scale. The test campaign is the procedural solution to this risk. It treats marketing as an experiment before it becomes a major capital expenditure. Instead of a national launch, an advertiser deploys a sample offer in 4 or 5 average towns, creating an isolated microcosm of real-world testing. Tracking coupon returns from specific towns builds a predictive data set. You learn exact customer acquisition costs before spending the full budget. This relies on scaling averages. The costs and habits of 1,000 test customers accurately forecast the national results of a million. Looking back at the modern creative ad, its structural failures are now clear. It lacks a key for tracking, relies on unprovable generalities, and prioritizes entertainment over a sales argument. If brevity or cleverness obscures the specific product claim, those traits are detrimental to the campaign. The goal of an ad is to find the interested prospect and give them enough information to act. The entire methodology fits into a single formula. Combine a specific claim with a service-based offer, prove it through a TEED test, and the result is predictable scale. For the professional strategist, this means moving past the era of guessing. Stop paying for brand awareness that cannot be measured. Every piece of creative must justify its existence. It must earn its budget through the rigorous metrics of traced returns and verifiable acquisition costs.